renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it.
I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah.
Dai family, peace be with you. Welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki, although this could be Dr. Mumbi's spiritual show or whatever. How you guys doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, from the bottom of my heart, that you are moving into living life in your own narrative, because the matrix is breaking down, family. And the matrix is mental, which is why there is a massive global mental health crisis. People are losing their proverbial shit, family. Excuse my French. People are tripping balls, as they say. People are losing it because the framework of reality is just not making sense. The mind and the heart are not aligned because people's hearts are telling them something is wrong, something ain't right. And yet their mind is lying to them, is deceiving them by continuing to be in the Babylon matrix and continuing to yield their power to the powers that be and the stories they tell you about reality. But before I even get into all that, family, of course, special shout out to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for supporting us on that platform and enabling us to continue the Wake Up Africa movement. We do have a lot of exclusive content on there. So definitely consider joining us on there for as little as $5, family. And, thanks to everyone that has bought our single. We really appreciate, love you. We have the links to where you can buy the single are down below. We also have ringtones on there. And all of this is just helping us to continue to bring you the alternative news. And please, guys, don't send me emails. Oh, the Babylon's going to censor all of you. Where are we going to reach you? Stop with the negativity. Stop with the negativity, family. But I really wanted to talk today about the global mental health crisis. Because so many people, family, actually it's so shocking because when we were growing up, let me just talk about like Kenya, for example, Nairobi even. Suicide was first of all, it was such a big taboo and it was such a rare thing. I actually only remember knowing one person who committed suicide between the 80s and the 90s. And the 2000s. But now, family, especially among men in their 40s and 50s in Nairobi, a lot of them have been taking their lives. Like, there is a mental health crisis. Governments are whispering about it. People are in depression. People are not able to make sense mentally. There's more and more people suffering from, psychotic episodes. Feeling like they have multiple personality disorders because, family, we are in such a critical time. The world as we know it is gone and we are in a new world. And Babylon's not going to tell you. The people who control the previous world are not going to tell you, oops, our time is up. There's new people coming in. They're not going to tell you that because they need your energy to even survive, to even make it. And the reason there's a global health crisis is because, family, the mental matrix is breaking down. The current story, the majority of our people believe in is breaking down. Because, this is a consensus reality. And so the story that has the attention of the most people rules. I mean, that's the most basic way to describe that, the formula of consensus reality. But now, especially with chosen ones and very high vibrational beings here, those high vibrational beings have started to wobble that narrative. Because Babylon could control billions of people vibrating super low, possessed, obsessed with death, poverty, sickness, disease. They could manipulate a world that was on that vibe. Which is why for so long they did everything to maintain the vibration as low as possible. And I'm telling you, family, all these things you saw, World War I, World War II, especially even the genocide in Rwanda, were all planned in order to bring the vibration down and keep the vibration down so that certain beings can be here. But now, family, that group consensus, the rules have changed. It's not like one man, one vote. It's not one man, one whatever. Now we have beings who are so powerful that their mental power has more influence than the mental power of their entire nation. There are people right now who are moving on earth, family, hidden generals, who have the power to shift the destiny of nations with their thoughts, and they're keeping their nation safe with their thoughts. These are very interesting times, family. And I share all this to say that really, create your own narrative, do your own research, and step out of Babylon. Start to create another life for yourself. There's some of you, every day you're sending me 5-6 emails about what Babylon is. Me, I just go select all, delete. Watch, Babylon has done this. Watch, this person has been killed. Watch, they've taken out these people. Watch. Why are you still watching that? That is creating mental illness in you at this point. Family, it's reached a point where if I even have to take any news, it's like one story a day. Let's put it like that. So protect yourselves from what Babylon is doing, because they're pushing the negativity. Before the negativity was, they're already pushing the negative stories, pushing the negative news cycles, doing all that. We respect all nature. We love our birds. So they were pushing the negative cycle, but now they're pushing the negative cycle on steroids. They want people to be stressed 24/7, to think the world is ending 24/7, so that they create that. I told you, Babylon needs our energy to create things, which is why they always have to tell us what they're up to. But it's not going according to plan, because now we have these chosen ones, these ancient ones that are here, whose positive vibration is not falling for their crap, who refuse to accept that the world is going to end like they say it is. No, it's the beginning of the new. For us, it's the beginning of the new earth. We're so grateful. We're just trying to release as much of Babylon from our minds, from our bodies. Constantly healing, constantly detoxing, just so that we elevate as much as possible, because in the elevation is a paradise, family. That's the true life. You're living a fake life right now, and that's why there's a global mental health crisis, because majority of people are living fake lives. They're in an illusion, and that illusion is now breaking out. It's breaking down, and their souls are like clinging on, because if there's no story, there's no life for you. It's all mental, family. There are people right now on this earth who don't die, because death is not a concept in their mind. It's not real. They're living on a whole other dimension. They'll either sleep when their time comes and their spirit just peacefully departs from their body with no stress, no pain, no anguish, no fear, and they're entering a different realm. Because one of the biggest traps right now, family, is death. One of the biggest ways that they are able to entrap you and make sure that you have to come back into their world and keep being like an energy slave to feed their world. Is the concept of death. And that's why I'm saying, family, please create your own story. You owe it to yourselves and you owe it to your family, especially if you have children. Protect their minds. Protect your minds, family, from the narratives of Babylon, because they're no longer relevant. Babylon is not in the equation anymore. And you need to be figuring out your own story so that you're moving more spiritually than physically. Because if you're moving more spiritually, the Great Spirit and your spiritual family and your spiritual team will navigate the so-called end of the Babylon's world for you. They'll help you avoid the economic crisis that they keep talking about. The money's going to collapse. Everyone's moving digital, this and that. They'll help you navigate that. Because one of the things that they're saying is that a lot of people are in paralysis because it's just like everything is not working. The pandemic hit people so hard because people were so distracted and consumed by Babylon that they couldn't even think for themselves. They had no world except the world that Babylon had created for them. And these are the ones who now, their minds are just collapsing. And, family, let me just share something else that I really feel people need to be aware of. And I don't know if I should do a separate show on this, but you see, we've entered a new realm where the spiritual warfare has now penetrated our reality. And a lot of people, family, a lot of spirits are roaming around, both of the angelic kind and the demonic kind. And the danger you're in right now, if you're in the Babylon story or the Babylon narrative, is that they're keeping your vibration so low that literally like a demon can jump inside you. You can be controlled by other beings. They can possess you. And so if you don't start to strengthen your mind and make your narrative as strong and as solid as possible, family, then you are going to be you're going to be caught up into this mental health crisis because it's becoming like a wave of confusion, a wave of desperation. And the sad thing is, family, those who took the jibby jab are now panicking because they're starting to put 2 and 2 together. And they're starting to realize that the pure bloods are good. The pure bloods are getting stronger. The pure bloods are starting to see things in the skies. They're looking healthier. They're glowing. And yet those who fell for, what do they call it? The okie doke. The snake bite. There's so many names we've had to come up with because censorship is still real. They're falling like flies, family. And I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was talking about this guy from I can't remember his name, Van Hansen or something. He's from is it from Sweden or one of those Scandinavian countries? And he was reading an article, and the article was talking about how now those who didn't take it are blaming. Those who did take it are blaming those who didn't take it for not warning them. I'm sure you remember how hard it was, family, to go to your members and say, yo, this is the mark of the beast. Me, I even did shows. I said, this is the mark of the beast. Another so-called fake prophets, some people, and some fake people that people are listening to came and said, oh, it's not the mark. It's not the mark. It's something else. And you guys are still giving these losers airtime? There's even people who you follow who took it and you're still giving them airtime. They have no idea what's going on. And that's where the panic is starting, family. And anyway, as I end, when I saw this article about how the unjibby jabbed are now to blame for the fact that the jibby jab followed the rules And we should have warned them and told them that this thing was toxic, but we did warn them and they ostracized us. This is the power of Babylon. The power of Babylon made those people who fell for their bullshit have so much anger and resentment and hatred to those of us who are just saying, ask the right questions. Don't fall for a government mandate, for a poison, for something which the people, they have always poisoned you, and now they're introducing something that they're saying is saving your life. And so now there's like a growing panic among those ones who did it, who followed the government orders. Because they're not okay. They don't feel okay. If you talk to a lot of them, ever since they took it, their body's been feeling weird. Because their bodies are transitioning into a transhuman. Half machine, half human. Who you can just be controlled by the Wi-Fi's of this world. Anyway, let me not get too into that. But family, please protect your mind, protect your heart, protect your happiness, protect your joy. I literally cannot hang out with someone who is not on my vibration anymore. Because I literally can't have a conversation with them. And everything you see, like for us who are the chosen ones who did the work, who listened to spirit, who gave the authority to the Most High and not to humans. I don't even know if they're humans, to the clones running this world. We're in a whole different reality right now. Things are expanding for us. And yet, for those who listened to the government and did the okie doke, their world is collapsing. So we're in two totally different realities. And I'm telling you, family, it's like telling a broke man you're bawling. Of course they're going to have envy and jealousy towards you. And so this requires you to be self-contained, mentally, spiritually, socially. And even some of the chosen are not on certain levels, family. Even some are even more toxic. Some of these who say they're the chosen, they're the healers, they're the this. Because people are also out there trying to get spiritual power. Some chosen trying to get spiritual power from other chosen ones. So really maintain your purity, maintain your sanity. Vet anyone who's coming into your life. Make sure they're balanced. Keep unbalanced people out of your life, family. Because we've reached a point where all we can do is cheerlead. You can't carry anyone on your back to the new earth. People have to take themselves. And you can't you can't hold someone's hands and walk them into the new earth either. And let me end on that because there's someone who shared a story about how, they were hanging out with their low vibrational sister. And they went into the forest, nature, which, they'd been probably entering on a different vibration. And when they saw, and she felt like she was being kicked out of the forest. The sister felt like something was pushing her out of the forest, was making her leave the forest. Like she felt a hand on her chest. And when the high vibrational sister realized that when they left the forest, she realized, wow, like I can't take my sister with me. And a lot of you just need to be coming to peace with that. Because either you sacrifice your greatness for their stupidity, or you must maintain that separation. But those are stories for other days. Tuko pamoja.
I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine, yeah. And I want it all, beyond the riches of the world, to the promises of God for my life. So I'm saying goodbye.